It's Sunday, the 3rd of December, 2023. And as I've been saying on the past few, it's about 120, I guess. Past few videos, Christmas season coming up, already here. Um, the day itself is fast approaching. We start to panic. Shopping days are limited, gets more crowded. People get anxious. That's the holiday season. Like it or not, um, that built-in anxiety is just part of the season now. It doesn't have to be, and maybe it isn't for everyone, which is awesome if it isn't for you guys, but it is for many. So I like talking about how to counteract that, and of course there's lots of ways. One, be mindful of your shopping. More personal gifts, less, spend less. Go to small, family-owned type of business whenever possible. Make things special. Make them fit the occasion instead of just, a list of items, a list of objects. Gotta buy this, gotta buy that. I'll only be happy if I get this or if I give you that. By being mindful, what do you need? Or what's a small, personal, intimate gift that can be given? Can you do something without spending money? Probably seems like, maybe that doesn't fit what we think of as the holidays any longer. It's your holiday. Make it what you want it. Doesn't have to fit anyone's expectations anymore, not even your previous expectations. So, my advice, for whatever it's worth, which probably isn't much, my advice shouldn't mean much. But if there's just a little bit of insight there that maybe you could pick up on, all the better. So, I've talked before about meditation combating stress, lowering the blood pressure, making you more even keeled, keeping you more in tune with that rest and digest nervous state, the easier way of living with life, going more into that parasympathetic nervous state rather than the sympathetic, rather than the fight or flight. Not that fight or flight is bad, it's when it's uncontrolled. It's when we enter it with little provocation. That's when it's not good. A little bit of stress, controlled stress, properly induced, is how we navigate life. It gives us that motivation, gets us up in the morning, gets us outside, gets us ready to exercise or do all the stuff we love to do, including starting to meditate. But we shouldn't let it run rampant through our lives. We shouldn't be provoked into entering the sympathetic nervous state unless we're being chased by a bear or a pack of wolves or a woolly mammoth or what are some of the other saber-toothed tiger, things like that. If that's not happening, if you're not physically being threatened in any way, then you want to have some sense of control over that aspect of your central nervous system. Meditation helps with that. Twice a day, 20 minutes, 10 minutes twice a day, 5 minutes twice a day, if that's all you can spare. 10 minutes once a day. Work something out. Find a method that works for you. Practice it, stick with it. However, it's not an immediate tool. You can't be in a line somewhere, long line in the supermarket or Christmas shopping, and you can practice mindfulness. You can recite a mantra in your head, but that seated meditation, unless you want to take the seat right there, it's not going to work for you. So the immediate practice that we have on hand through any moment of the day, and it never leaves us, is the breath. Very simple. And don't want to get too complicated with the breath. Not today. I don't want to get into some of the fancier things. But the simple breathing in for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4, using the nose. Very simple breath. 10 rounds. You can count your rounds on your fingers if you want. You can count on one hand using the pad, starting with the index finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't see that. Starting the pad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rounds. Which is good when we move on to alternate nostril breathing, because then you have one hand free to count. Or you can keep track in your head if that's easy for you. There's no hard set rules for you to follow. The breathing pattern, 4 in, you're not going to purposely pause at the top, but there is a natural pause. And then breathe out for 4. Breathing in through the nose for 4, breathing out. And it's at your count. You don't have to go by seconds. You can use an app which will count in seconds. It's just as easy to use your own count and not worry if it's 4 seconds. It's for a count of 4. And then to make it more profound, to get a more immediate relaxing effect, maybe too relaxing depending on if you're going back to work, but if you're in a highly stressed situation, maybe you need it. Breathe in for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8. 10 rounds. Using the nose. Breathing in for 4, exhale for 8. Now you can work with different ratios with that as well. You could do 5 and 10, things along those lines. But when you need to have a more dramatic effect on your nervous system, elongate the exhale. Exhale longer, usually double whatever it is you inhale. So if you inhale for 5, and this is for that big deep effect. So if you inhale for 5, exhale for 10. If you inhale for 6, exhale for 12. Start easy. Start with the 4-4 or the 4-8. 4-8 is great when you're in line, when you're stuck in a traffic jam, especially things like that. When you don't want to get too relaxed, you might not want to do the 4 and 8 if you're driving, if you're stuck in traffic. Stick with something 4-4, which will help relax you, take the edge off of the situation, but it won't so deeply relax you that you might be slightly slowed in any response that might be required. 2 breath practices that are perfect for when you have time to sit down. You can do it your lunch break. You can do it, in your office when you need to. Alternate nostril breathing. I've mentioned this quite a bit. And box breathing. Let's start with box breathing. Very simple. And you can visualize a box. You can visualize a box being created by light. Close your eyes. And you visualize a white light coming up. White light going across. White light going down, white light going across. There's your box. You breathe in for a count of 4. Always using the nose. Hold for a count of 4. Make sure you can see the box. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Can't see the box. There you go. So it's inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, and you're making a box. You don't need to do the visualization, but it adds an element to it that is that helps deepen the process. So that is box breathing. Don't have to do anything. What I love about that, it's simple. You don't need to add to it. You can do triangle breathing, where you breathe in for 4, exhale for 4, do the breath retention external. When we hold the breath, when we take a breath in and hold, that's an internal retention. When we exhale and hold, it's an external retention. Triangle breath. Breathe in for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. 4 seems to work best all the way across for box breathing or triangle breathing. Both are great for relaxation. Both are great any time of the day, particularly as a nice bedtime routine to help you relax and enter into that parasympathetic state, which again is the rest and digest state, and it helps prepare you for sleep. It helps shut the body down. It helps shut your mind down, particularly if you do it as you start shutting off all the electronics. You take a few minutes just to naturally breathe, nothing special, just relaxing. You start to dim some lights maybe. You do rituals for preparation for sleep that you only do for sleep. And it sets you up for a really, really good night's sleep. If you have trouble going to sleep, the 4-8 breath with added ujjayi breathing. The ujjayi breathing is that ha sound that we make. We breathe in using the ha. Exhale. 4 and 8 while you're lying in bed. Just 2 rounds. Really helps fall asleep. Just a quick mention of Andrew Wheels, alternative medicine doctor. His 4-7-8 breath is great for helping with sleep as well. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 7. Exhale through the mouth this time for a count of 8, but making a whoosh with pursed lips. Also, your tongue is on the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth as you're inhaling and exhaling. And you can even add ujjayi breath to that. Ujjayi breath really helps you control the breath in a positive manner. I've used the ujjayi breathing just lying in bed, nothing special, no special ratio, just using it during some issues with anxiety and panic attacks, and it has helped me calm down and eventually leading me to be able to sleep. It's been a lifesaver. So the Andrew Reel, great pre-bedtime ritual. He recommends it twice a day. 4 rounds, I believe. You can look up 4-7-8 breathing. The main practice I want to talk about, and we'll make this a short session, so we'll talk about this and we'll call it a day, unless anyone pops up and they have a question or we start a discussion. Alternate nostril breathing. This could be, if you want it to be, your only practice, including if you didn't want to spend a lot of time meditating. I don't recommend that. Obviously, I teach meditation, so I recommend it, not just because I teach it. I teach it because I believe in it. Alternate nostril breathing, Vishna Mudra or Pranayama Mudra. Pull these fingers back. These should stay up. They don't need to stay up. In decades of practice, my fingers have never stayed up and together, and they're not going to at this point in time. But I keep pulling them back, and I keep hoping, and I'm always slightly disappointed that they don't stay together. So the Vishnu Mudra, and again, if you want, you can count on the pads of your fingers. 10 rounds. Rounds can be disputed. Some people say breathing in, breathing out is 1 round. Some say breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out is 1 round. Do what works for you. Start with in, out as 1 round. Do 10 rounds. If you feel like working up to 10 rounds of both, do that. Start very simply. Breathing in. Always start on your left. Bring the Vishnu Mudra up. Close off the right side. Breathing in for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch. Free the right side. Breathing out. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch, hold, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch and hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 rounds. Or Shivrana yoga practice, do it for 5 minutes. You can set a timer. 5 minutes is a great time. You could even do it for 10 minutes if you want. And it turns into a meditation, especially if you do it with the eyes closed and you focus your attention on the third eye chakra. Traditionally as well, that's a great practice, and it's considered yoga body certification teaching that I did. That would be considered water breathing, meaning it doesn't bring you too far up, doesn't bring you too far down. It's a great equalizing breath. It's great for the blood pressure. It is great for stress management. It helps with your breathing. It lowers the heart rate, helps you relax, eases stress, eases anxiety. It is a wonderful, wonderful breath. I mentioned before Hillary Clinton, love her or hate her, doesn't matter to me. I like her, but that's okay. When she was grilled in front of Congress for 11, I believe it was 11 hours straight, very few breaks. She stayed very calm, cool, and collected, where even those grilling her, the opposition party, applauded her openness and her demeanor. When she was interviewed later and asked how she stayed so calm and non-combative, she talked about her practice of yoga and specifically alternate nostril breathing. It helps. She would go on her breaks, she would go and she would practice a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. It works. In a lot of yoga traditions, Shivyana yoga, which is the primary yoga that I practice, other forms as well. I shift back and forth, but that's always primary. We add in breath retention. So it would be beginning, Vishnu Mudra, breathing in, left side, for a count of 4, pinch and hold, count of 4 as we're holding, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, slow the count down for you, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's how you do it. Then things can start getting interesting. As you hold the breath, close your eyes, put your attention. Don't stare. Don't try to use a penetrating gaze into your innermost being. Just put your attention right there on the third eye. See what happens. Be very calm. As you progress from there, you do a different ratio. You would do a 1-4-2 ratio, meaning whatever count that you start with, which is 1, so we're starting with 4, then you would do 4 of that ratio. So if you're holding for 4, it would be 4, and then you would hold for 8, and then you would exhale for 8, and then eventually you could work your way up. You could do breathing in for 4, hold for 12, exhale for 8. Eventually you can work up to, and I've done holding or breathing for 4, holding for 16. I know some people who do it for 24 or 32. 16 seems to be the perfect place for me, at least. Breathing in for 4, holding for 16, breathing out for 8. And when you hold and your attention's on the third eye, it's just such a calming, relaxing place to be. You practice that for 10 rounds, and it is a perfect breath and meditation all in one. You can practice that for 5 minutes. You can practice that for 10 minutes. Very calm, and it will make a positive effect every aspect of your life. And you can do that twice a day. Generally, I recommend 3 breathing practices a day and therapeutically as needed. So you might do a morning breath, which might be breath of fire or bellows breath, a more vigorous type of breathing that increases cortisol and stress hormones to help you start your day. Again, useful in that context. And then you might do an even breath, like alternate nostril breathing with a 4-4 ratio. If you really need to calm down, or if you want to do a meditative practice, you would do the 4 retain for 8, exhale for 8, or 4 retain for 16, exhale for 8. Set a timer, close your eyes, and just keep that practice. And then in the evening, you do a relaxing breath. Whenever you find yourself in a stressful situation of the day, revert back to the 4 in, 4 out nostril breathing. So, all right, guys, as always, if you ever have any questions, you want to talk about meditation, breath work, I don't consider myself, I am a yoga body breath coach for that protocol. And I practice other breathing methods. I do not consider myself a breathing expert in the least. I'm someone who practices, and I'm someone who points the way using the yoga body philosophy and methodology that I was taught. But take those basics, and then find a program or work a program that works with you. I'm always here for suggestions. Same with meditation. I am a primordial sound meditation instructor, certified through the Chopra Institute. I don't consider myself an expert, but I've been practicing meditation forever in my life, and primordial sound meditation for almost 30 years. So I know a bit, and I'm willing to share, and I'm willing to teach. So, but I don't consider myself an expert. Be lots of things, lots of little things that I'm always learning virtually every day, and I try to stay open to all of that. If I consider myself an expert, I've shut myself off from all the wonderful possibilities of learning new things every day. So I never declare myself an expert for what it's worth. All right, guys, that's it for today, I think. And again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Just leave a comment or reach out. Send me an email. I believe my email is somewhere on my page, I think. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.